oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another episode of the Matt Kohrs Show, where you're Matt, I'm Kohrs, and Piper is the show. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is a beautiful Wednesday, February the 21st, aka my mom's birthday, actually. So if you guys see her around, if you see my Mama Kohrs bebopping around, say what up. Say what up, girl. Happy birthday. I should probably call her after the show, so don't let me forget that. If someone could remind me at the end of the show to give my mom a call, that would be greatly appreciated. I don't want to be that guy who doesn't remember to call their mom on their birthday. You know, already got her a gift. It's going to be delivered today, so that's all good. So, folks, Wednesday, February 21st, I hope you're having a good one. Market, not looking the best, so I want to chit-chat about that, but really, does it matter when we all know this entire web of lies is being held together by NVIDIA, which is reporting after the market closes today? So whether we go up or down today, if you ask me, I don't think it really matters in the short term. I truly don't. I think it's all going to come down to NVDA. If it ends up beating earnings, has solid guidance, I think the market rippity-skippity-doo-does. Now, however, if it does not beat on earnings, if it does not have bullish guidance, I think we go down into the ring of fire. So it all comes to that. So for me, I'm making no special conjecture, no premonition. I'm having no epiphany about the situation. In my book, it's 50-50. I do not have a well-developed model that is accurately predicting earnings. So when it comes to me, is the earnings good or bad? It's flipping a freaking coin, which means I'm probably not going to swing much overnight. It means that I'm probably going to do my day trades today, figure out how it all goes, and then I'm just going to sit there and hope that things turn out well tomorrow. I hope this isn't a D-Day event. So that's the major thing going down today. That's after the market closes, but also throughout the day today at 1 p.m. ET. So for all those of you living on the East Coast, at 1 p.m., right when you get done crushing your lunch, we're going to get the results of the 20-year bond auction. The most recent bond auctions have been doing pretty solid. So I don't want to necessarily put this out there as like a cautionary tale of pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. You should pay attention just in case it goes bad, but I have more of a positive feeling on that than I do a negative feeling. So we get that at 1 p.m. So those are the major things. I just want to get that right out of the way. The TLDR is 20-year bond auction. Results come out at 1 p.m. After the market closes, we're going to hear from NVIDIA. And really, that's going to, like I said, that's the Elmer's glue that is holding this ship together right now. So let's see if it continues to hold. Before we get into that, a lot of other crazy things I want to get into. Yes, when the market goes dingity ding ding ding, we'll be watching the stonk market. We'll be degenerately trading options. We're going to be letting the robots run wild on futures. Yes, that's all going to happen. But between now and then, there's other things we should get into. For example, we should discuss why President Biden hates all of you. Every single one, myself included. Hate you, hate you, hate you. Well, I would argue that the entire political class hates you. So we're going to get into that. And we're going to get into something in my neck of the woods of how it is very much negatively impacting New York City. Obviously, Manhattan, New York City, it is a great, vibrant city with a long, long history. But I fear it might be coming to an end. I really, really do. For any of you guys in my neck of the woods who identifies in or around being a New Yorker, you know that over the past couple of years, things have been going down the hill, and not a fun hill. It's not like you're sledding, having a great time on a nice wintry day. This is more of a hill that you were like leaving a party and you're like, all right, see you later. And you were a little bit tipsy, and then you turned around and you lost your balance and you fell down like this hill that had like a bunch of rocks, and you smashed up your entire body the entire time. So I want to talk about the most recent developments in New York City and some of the crazy things that are going on with the mayor and also the previous mayor. We're going to get into that. I want to talk about a little bit of the things going on across the pond in China, which is like straight up stopping some of the bigger players from selling stock. Didn't know they could do it. They just said, no, you're not fucking selling, which kind of gives you an idea of how tumultuous the whole China situation is. Then obviously a quick breakdown of what's going on in the world of the macroeconomic reports today, a little bit of an earnings update, a little bit of individual stock updates. Surprise, surprise, Jeff Bezos has sold even more Amazon. So we'll be getting into that. You guys send in a bunch of reacts. And then also throughout that, let's see if we could string together a couple trades so I can continue to pay for my morning coffee that I have every day with you guys. Whoa, did I spill a little bit over here? Did I spill a little bit? It's probably Piper's fault. Probably not my fault over here. Just got to clean that up. Got to clean that up. I got to definitely a little dirty. No one wants a dirty coffee cup this early in the morning. All right. Well, folks, with all that being said, it is time to rip, rock, and roar. Let's get going. Stock futures slip after major averages incur back-to-back losses. So, yeah, if you look at the market right now, things are a little bit red. But like I said, I think today is going to kind of be a whatever day. Might be bullish, might be bearish. But in terms of where we're going in the near future, like the next couple of days, the next couple of weeks, in my opinion, it all comes down to NVIDIA's earning tonight. So I don't think today's action, bullish, bearish, neutral, chop, big trend, I don't think that's going to in any way be indicative of what's going down with NVIDIA. So today, I don't think it has any future influence. So I'll be doing my day trades, planning on getting out by the time market closes, and then kind of hitting the reset button, digesting NVIDIA's report, and then restarting tomorrow. So just want to throw that out there. Definitely focus on the day trades today. But before we talk about that, let's talk about how President Biden most likely hates you. Biden administration to forgive $1.2 billion in student debt for over 150,000 borrowers. Now, you might be thinking, wow, Matt, that seems like a really high number. But what's the cumulative amount? Luckily for you, the internet sleuth that I am, had the time this morning to research it. And the cumulative total right now is $138 billion of student debt forgiven for over 4 million borrowers. Now, I don't want to be that person that if someone else hits a lucky streak, you can't be mad at them. They got a lucky streak. Like if the government is offering you some money, obviously it'd be kind of crazy to not take it. I get that. But on the other side of it, understand that this financial burden, it's not as if it is just between the borrower and the government, and then we're on the outside of the bubble watching and be like, oh, I wish I got lucky. That's not how it works. If someone's not paying themselves, it's getting paid for somewhere. And that's the rest of society. If you are a tax-paying citizen, or really just a taxpayer in the US, that means that you in one way or another assisted in absorbing this. That's how it works. If the government is not accepting money and the government made these payments, it's getting paid for somewhere. So it's either directly through taxes or inherently it's going to be via inflation when they print more money to make up for this debt. So yes, it does actually impact everyone. This, I hear this argument time and time again of well, why would you be mad if someone else just gets theirs paid off? Because that means I'm paying it off. And beyond many other things going on, clearly this is just buying votes, which is a thing that we're seeing the Biden administration do. And I'm sure many other administrations have done it. On this particular one, I'm not exactly picking on him, saying he's the only one who's done it. I'm sure anyone who's trying to get into power or retain power has done this type of a thing. But yeah, that's all it is the thought is if I use everyone's money to pay off student debt, then those people will vote for me and I'll retain power. The fact that other people are clearly not seeing what's going on here, it's a farce. It's not as if he thinks this is the major thorn in the side of the economy, and as if we got rid of student debt, everything would be fine. No, why is student debt worse than something like medical debt? Why are we incentivizing people going to college and university in the US where a lot of the times your pay will never get you out from that debt burden? Why are we not incentivizing VOTEC schools? Why are we not incentivizing entrepreneurship? The answer to all of that is, they just want to buy votes. And unfortunately, I think it actually gets considerably worse. With the commentary on President Joe Biden, we know Bill Ackman, he's really been in social media lately, obviously fighting with various people for various reasons. He was just on the Lex Friedman podcast, and he had some pretty interesting commentary on Joe Biden. And I think it's worthwhile to listen to because not only is he a billionaire, but he's a very influential guy. And I think he brings up some pretty valid points of how every single day Biden is not telling the world that he's going to be stepping down for the next election, it's actually hurting him and the Democratic Party. So, I mean, particularly, especially if you're anti-Trump, your biggest opponent right now is Biden. Trump would have a harder time winning if his opponent weren't Biden. And every single day Biden is continuing to not step down, it's making it more likely that Trump wins. So definitely something to consider, but interesting commentary right here from Bill Ackman.
And I have been pointing this out as of others, Biden I think is done. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for the country having him as a presidential candidate, let alone the president of the country. It's crazy. And it's just going to get worse and worse. And he should, the worst of his legacy is his ego that prevents him from stepping aside. And that's it. It's his ego.
To be fair, though, to be any president ever, I bet they have a massive ego.
You talk to people. I was in Europe. I was in London a few days ago, and people are like, Bill, how can this guy be a president? And it's a bit like, again, I go back to my business analogy. Being a CEO is like a full contact sport. Being president of the United States is like some combination of wrestling, marathon running, being a triathlete. I mean, you got to be a serious physical shape and at the top of your game to represent this country. And he is a far cry from that. And it's just getting worse. And it's embarrassing. And he cannot be. And by the way, every day he waits, he's handing the election to Trump, because it's harder and harder for an alternative candidate to surface. Now, Dean is the only candidate left on the Democratic side that can still win delegates. He's on the ballot in 42 states. And
I think Dean had a decent showing in New Hampshire, I want to say.
Well in Michigan.
And so you think there is a path with the delegates and all that kind of stuff?
100%. So if what has to happen is, New Hampshire, he went from 0 to 20% of the vote and 10 weeks with no name recognition. Mm-hmm. I helped a little bit. Elon helped. We did a spaces for him. We had 350,000 people on the spaces. Some originally 40,000 live or something, and then the rest after. And then he was on the ground in New Hampshire. And New Hampshire is one of the states where you don't need to be registered to a party to vote for that candidate. So it's like jump ball. And he got 20%. And that's with a lot of independents and Democrats voting for Haley. Haley, who I like and who I've supported, does not look like she's going to make it. Trump is really kind of running the table. And so
without a doubt,
vote for Haley.
He's steamrolling her.
As an independent in Michigan, maybe throw away your vote. I think it increases the likelihood that Dean can get those independent votes. If he could theoretically, again, he needs money. He could beat Biden in Michigan. Biden's doing very poorly in Michigan. His polls are terrible. The Muslim community is not happy with him. I didn't
know that Michigan had such a high density of a Muslim community.
Withdrawing, then Dean will get funding. If he wins Michigan or shows well in Michigan, and people say he's viable, he's the only choice we have, he'll attract from the center. He'll attract from people, Republicans who won't vote for Trump, in which they're a big percentage, could be 60% or more. It could be 70% won't vote for Trump. And also from the Democrats. So I think he's a really interesting candidate, but we got to get the word out.
Yeah, I got a chance to chat with Dean.
In all reality, I don't know much about Dean. I should probably look more into him. I was more focused on the interesting comments of right now, if you are a Democratic liberal Biden supporter, you should be hoping that he steps down sooner rather than later. He's not going to win this. Now, if you are a Trump Republican conservative voter, you would actually want Biden theoretically to stay in as long as he can now, because it'll stop any other person on the Democratic side from developing the momentum they would need to beat Trump out in an election. So we've gotten ourselves into an interesting situation. Obviously, this is now in February of 24, so we don't have that many months to go, but it's going to get a little bit tense. Now, on that note, I want to talk about like maybe a sub issue of the whole country, and it just happens to be my neck of the woods, New York City. Kind of some funny things going on. So let's start off with this. A New Yorker spots former New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio and trolls him. Now, this is the guy who's like eating some French fries. He's like, yeah, everyone, you gotta pump up these pharma stocks. You got to get the jab and everything. Obviously, most recently, we got some information that, actually, no, the negative health implications are a little bit more severe than safe and effective as it was pitched to us. So this guy, pretty funny, classic New York City moment, if it ever plays.
Yeah, sure. Let's just get across. Okay.
Hey. Hey.
How's it going, man?
Thanks for fucking up the city.
Have a nice day, buddy.
Yeah, asshole.
Classic New York, but on more of a serious note, this is wild. So some of the breaking news recently is this. Idiocracy was a documentary. Up to $10,000 for each illegal alien in New York. No ID check, no restrictions, no fraud control. Every American should be outraged by this. That's fair. I mean, I don't know, outraged. It's just completely illogical. So we covered this news when it was first coming out, but the new mayor of New York, Adams, he basically said, okay, I'm going to earmark over $50 million. And you just come up, you get it. Obviously, no ID check, no restrictions. You have to sign a thing saying, oh, yeah, no, I promise to not spend money on other things. But there's no checking of it. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. And I guess they argue that it's somehow cheaper, but someone would have to explain that basic math to me. But what's kind of interesting is when you dive into it, like, okay, like, why is this craziness actually happening? You gotta watch this. Wild, 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 wild.
Here is the Row Hotel.
This is one of the 5 hotels that has been transformed into a shelter.
So we're gonna walk in there and see what kind of operation they're running inside. This is a really nice hotel. How's it going?
How can I help you with?
Oh yeah, we were just checking out the hotel.
Oh, the hotel is closed, I'm sorry.
It's closed, but there's a ton of people in here right now.
Because it's a shelter now.
Oh, you guys,
Hotel.
it's shelter for the migrants coming in?
Yeah, it's no longer open to the public. It's closed to the public.
How many floors is it? 30 floors. This thing is...
Yeah.
You guys aren't allowed to talk about it? Why is it like such a big secret, do you think?
I don't know. We just follow orders.
When hotels such as the Row Hotel close until further notice, they sign a contract with an outside source saying that they will pay the rent in order for them to house the migrants. And the hotels love it because it is guaranteed money every single night. And at a rate of $200 per night at the Row Hotel, and with 1,331 rooms, that is $260,000 a day, $1.8 million a week, and $7.2 million a month. And all that money is guaranteed.
The old government, you gotta love it. Hotels are making millions of dollars off the illegal fake refugee crisis, $260,000 per day for 1,331 rooms, $7.2 million each month. And who's paying for it? We are. The money's coming from the government, so it's either directly tax dollars, and if they need money, because we know that the national debt is skyrocketing, they'll at least just print more, making inflation worse. So I could argue that you're actually paying it for it in 2 different ways. This is a post from Marty Bent, just to wrap this part of it up, that I think is pretty interesting, and it's just a strategy that I've never heard of before, so I figured, hey, maybe for some of you who haven't heard of it, could be a didactic moment. I think it's time to have a serious conversation about whether or not the people controlling Biden are employing a Cloward Piven strategy against the country. I hope I'm pronouncing those names right, but right here, this is no surprise to anyone. Illegal crossings of the Southwest land border monthly. We can see when Biden got in, it just absolutely shot up. A lot of people are just saying, oh, no, this is definitely just a way to get votes. But check this out. I have not heard of this before. I believe it's pronounced Cloward Piven. Cloward Piven. The Cloward Piven strategy is a political strategy outlined in 1966 by American sociologist and political activist Cloward and Fox Piven. It is a strategy of forcing political change leading to societal collapse through orchestrated crises. The Cloward Piven strategy seeks to hasten the fall of capitalism by overloading the government bureaucracy with a flood of impossible demands, amassing massive unpayable national debt, and other methods such as unfettered immigrants, thus pushing society into crisis and economic collapse by overwhelming the U.S. Is it what's happening? I have no idea, but this was outlined in 1966. And if you can't see the correlations, you gotta open your eyes. Now, obviously, just as a person in this country, I don't want it to be true. That would be crazy for me to be like, oh yeah, this is totally what I want to be going on. I'm just saying sometimes the negative thing is actually what's happening. So very much don't want this to be occurring. I just wanted to share it with you. Kind of crazy. It was outlined in 1966, has a lot of similarities. And before this moment, before this day, I had never heard of it before. So I just want to share it, obviously using a little bit of New York as an example, but on the larger scale, this is This is crazy. This is crazy what's going on. I'm not necessarily sure if I have bought into this idea of like some maestro behind the curtains controlling it all. I think what this is in individual veins. We have people who are either money hungry, power hungry, or hungry for the two. And their greed and immorality has these side effects that are now permeating throughout our country, our society, our political discourse. I don't think there's a big maestro that like can see this far into the future and is this tactically sound. I think, like I said, there's individual veins where people are greedy, immoral, and they just do what they want to do to get more power, to get more money. And then we're unfortunately just seeing the side effects, and it's impacting everyday life. Another wild story for you. China bans major institutional investors from selling stocks at the open or close and plans to track who is shorting. You heard that right. Things in China's stock market and economy are getting so bad, they are actually banning some of these big players from selling. Here are more of the details. China tightens grip on stocks with net sale ban at open and close. China has banned major institutional investors from reducing equity holdings at the open and close of each trading day, part of the government's most forceful attempt yet to prop up the nation's $8.6 trillion stock market. Do you know how bad things have to be for them to be like, you're not allowed to sell at open and close? Like, that's the most wild thing. The order from China's securities watchdog was recently delivered to major asset managers and the prop trading desks and brokerages. The China Securities Regulatory Commission, the CSRC, was also created a task force with the nation's stock exchanges to monitor short selling and issue warnings to firms that profit from the wagers. So they've already been going after shorts, people who have a negative opinion on the market and are betting against it. Now, just even people who are bullish and want to unload, we're not even going to allow you to do that. While authorities have been ratcheting up curbs on bearish bets for months, the ban on net selling at the open and close represents a notable tightening of the government's grip on market activity that risks upending popular strategies used by hedge funds and other institutional investors. Firms affected by the ban are unable to sell more shares than they buy during the first and last 30 minutes of trading. It's unclear how widely the ban is being applied across the financial industry, and there's no indication it will affect individual investors who account for a large portion of the volume on the Chinese market. Still, the sidelining of major institutions during two of the most closely watched parts of the trading day may make it easier for government-backed funds to influence the market, especially the closing levels of benchmark indices. Manipulation. The Chinese government is basically saying, hey, for the time being, we are more than willing to highly manipulate our own market to basically fight off, I guess, some sort of crash, collapse, something like that. I mean, it can't be good. In addition to the trading curb, some brokerages have asked to recall stock loans to clients for shorting purposes. People familiar with the matter said some quantitative hedge funds are still banned from cutting equity positions in their leverage market neutral funds, a strategy known as direct market access that was halted in early February. So just when you're calling back stock loans, it's basically stopping from shorting. Not only with all of that, they're also coming after the nerdy quant programming traders. China has forced part of its clampdown this week on quantitative trading after a major hedge fund sold a combined 357 million in shares within a minute Monday after the market opened at 9:30 a.m. The move deemed as quote unquote disrupting normal trading order. That's my favorite part of this entire article, because as if none of this other stuff is disrupting normal trading order. Some participant in the market freely buying and selling is considered disrupting, but then if the government stops everyone from doing what they want to do, that's not disrupting. Anyway, this prompted the two major exchanges to freeze its accounts for 3 days in an unusually harsh punishment. The Kohrs has pledged to tighten supervision of quantitative trading. Quant trading can help with market liquidity and price discoveries. Such trades have obvious technology, information, and speed advantages over smaller investors and can amplify market volatility at certain points. They're just giving us the classic PR runaround. Like, these quants, man, we're helping the little guy because quants are faster. And that's the problem here. No, the problem here is your stock market's on tilt and you're doing everything in your power to stop it from going kaput. And when it's this bad, I mean, there's blood in the water. And when it comes to Wall Street, It's one of the most vicious games out there. So I get that they're trying to stop something here, but I mean, the rest of the world's paying attention. You're paying attention. I'm paying attention. I bet there's some smarty pants out there with a bunch of money who's going to figure out a certain way to play this that the Chinese government cannot stop.
Order filled.
And I think this is going to get interesting. I think this is going to get very, very interesting. So stay tuned for the next update on China and them totally 100% not manipulating their own stock market. With respect to our stock market, early this morning, we got a CPI report out of the Eurozone. No, I'm sorry. Today is Wednesday, February 21st. At 2 p.m., we get the FOMC meeting minutes. So it's not an FOMC meeting. It's the meeting minutes from the last one. Just so you know, that comes out at 2. An hour before that, we're going to get the results of the 20-year bond auction. And then really the major thing is after the market closes today, we are going to be hearing from NVIDIA. But on top of it, you might care about Rivian. You might care about Etsy. You might care about Lucid. When the market opens tomorrow, Moderna, Nikola, later on Block. So feel free to screenshot this if that's something you're interested in, but I think all eyes are on NVIDIA. NVIDIA faces stiff tests on Wall Street this week after parabolic stock rally. This is what's all holding it together. It's either going to work and their beat earnings and guidance goes up and we rippity skippity doodah, or it completely misses and everything goes the way of China's market, basically. Palo Alto Network shares plunge after company cuts full-year billings revenue guidance. So PANW is the ticker symbol, getting absolutely murked this morning. HSBC posts record annual profit but misses estimates on China write-down, shares tumble. You guys seeing the trend here about some of the stuff going on in China? You guys seen some stuff about that one, huh? A little bit of a trend, if you will. Jeff Bezos unloads around $2.4 billion in Amazon stock, bringing recent sales to 50 million shares. Another day has come and gone. Another day that Bezos has unloaded billions of more dollars. This guy is hitting the sell button as fast as he humanly can. It's honestly kind of impressive. It's kind of absolutely wild, if you ask me. So a little bit of AMZN update there. All right, here's the newsletter pinned to the top of chat. In the description of the video, you can get this for free. FREE, not spending $1. Every single weekend into your inbox, I give you a breakdown of the previous week, my ideas for the upcoming week, all the major macroeconomic events, all of the major earnings. I kind of highlight the ones that I think you'll care about. Most importantly, I give you the seasonality. So for today, Wednesday, the Bulls historically have only won this day 36% of the time. 1/3 of the time, the Bears have obviously won it 2/3 of the time. Profit factor far below 1, coming in at 0.25, and the bias is obviously bearish. So this is the equity curve generated from buying at open, selling at close on this individual day over the past 25 years. Down, down, down we go. Now, does seasonality rule the roost? Does it definitively work every single time? No, it works this day about 2/3 of the time. So understand this is not the end all be all, but looking at the market open right now, it does feel as if the Bears have a bit more control, similar to yesterday. And then I'll give you an update on how Piper's strategy is doing. Now, yesterday, I myself made about 2.4K. This is why you should sign up for the Goonie Discord. It's all possible through that link pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Your first month is free. Use the code Goonie, Goonie. That's how you get your first month for free. And after that, you can decide if you want to stay. When you do stay, after that, it's either $30 a month, $300 for a year. You get a discount of 2 months. And I want you guys to know about this now because as of March 1st, not this Friday, but next Friday, the prices are going from $30 and $300 up to $50 and $500. So if you want to get grandfathered in at a cheaper cost, sign up for now. And you kind of don't have a reason not to because you could get your first month for free. So if you like it, you stay and you're grandfathered in at a cheaper cost. And then if you don't like it, okay, no harm, no foul. You didn't have to spend $1 anyway. So anyway, that's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. And then the next logical question is it worth it? Well, it's $300 for a year and I made 2.4K in one day and I called this out in real time. Here's my trades. I'm as transparent as I possibly can. Here's the Piper strategy. Look at this. 10 in the morning, Piper, bearish signal, 4 out of 5, a SPY call credit spread, a Q call credit spread. That ended up making the minimum you needed in your account for that. And obviously you could scale it up accordingly. It's 358 and that made $42. So in one day you paid for the whole next month of it. And my trade alone paid for 8 years of it. So in terms of value, you get the newsletter. There's trading competitions, my trades, Piper signals, other members' trades, private lectures on the weekend where we get into some really nerdy math stuff and option stuff and future stuff. So anyway, if you're interested in that, it's pinned to the top of chat. I'm just going to be hounding you up until March 1st because if you want to get in, it makes sense to obviously pay less. 5 things to know before that stock market bell goes dingity ding ding ding. Today, everyone is paying attention into Nvidia, and it comes out after the market closes, getting the boot. Walgreens getting kicked out of the Dow, and it's getting replaced by Amazon. Challenge to Play TV. I guess Fubo's a little bit important. What's going on with baggage check? Oh, American is raising baggage fees. Oh, that's what we all want to see. That's exactly what the world wants, is it to be more expensive when you are traveling. All right, folks. Allegedly, those are the things you need to know. Allegedly. All right, my question to you is, I have a couple questions. My first question is, before the market opens, NVIDIA, is it going to beat or is it going to miss? Matt, is your Discord name MMK1477 or is that a scammer? It's a scammer. I mean, if you look in the intro in the Discord guide, you're going to see my Discord name. I call it out. I literally call it scammer warning. So if you want to know what my Discord name is there, it's in the Discord. You can fact check it. You don't have to question it whatsoever. I am not MMK1477. I very, very much make it painfully apparent my account name because there are a lot of scammers. So if you're in the Discord, if you're thinking about joining the Discord, I just want you to know that unfortunately, like a lot of social media, there are scam accounts. So I'm not DMing you about some special crypto opportunity. That's stupid. That's not me. That's not happening. Dingity ding ding ding. The casino is open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly. If not, have fun. Folks, you know a little bit about me. You know that I've been slinging some robot trades lately, and it looks like similar to yesterday, we're starting off with a good vibe. We're starting off more green than we are red. But like I said, that's how we started it off yesterday. And by the end of the day, it turned very, very red. So your boy's in fight back mode. We're going to see how this works. And I really don't care if it's bullish or bearish. I just need a nice trend. And I would prefer that all these numbers stay in the green, at least more so than they stay in the red. So we'll see how this goes. I think I'm trading
Order
1,
filled.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's simultaneously trading. Hey, that one just locked in 275. First trade of the day is in the green. So that has to be a good sign, right? That has to be a positive sign. First trade of the day is in the green. First trade of the day is in the green. All right, so we're going to let those robots run wild. Robots gone wild. Let's see if they can actually make me money today. I'll let you guys know. Well, you're going to hear it. You're going to be order filled. You're going to be hearing that jazz for the robot stuff.
Order filled.
Obviously, the Discord will know when I end up trading options. I like to wait for the first 15, 30, 45 minutes to pass just so I have a little bit more information. Makes me feel a bit more comfortable on what I am or am not betting on. So I'll let you guys know when I do that. In terms of my swing plays, the positions that are not just a day trade, let me let you guys know what I am in. I've been swinging Tesla calls, SMCI puts, Meta calls, and Netflix calls. Those ones, I'm honestly a lot better at the zero DTE stuff because I have a system that historically I've proven to myself it does work. With this swing call, it's a lot more of like gut feeling stuff. And honestly, when it comes to gut feeling, most traders are not good at gut feeling. So I don't know, something to consider. How much have you pulled out of Apex? Thousands of dollars. Over $10,000. Why? Why is that your question? Yeah, like over 10 grand for sure. What is this? What is this? Hang on. I just got sent something from my producer. Hi, William Turton at Wired. The SEC concluded its investigation We sent you their closure letter yesterday, but you haven't updated
Order
your
filled.
story. Why don't you want the public to know the investigation is over? Well, that's good news for Rumble. Remember how Wired's like, oh, we think something's up, and the SEC like said they're investigating. Well, it looks like it's completely over, and this is all conjecture. I want to be clear about this because I don't need to be sued to kingdom come. But it really seems like it all started with that fucking dweeby ass loser, Culper Research, who didn't understand MAUs whatsoever. But this is from the U.S. SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission. We have concluded the investigation as to Rumble. Based on the information we have as of this date, we do not intend to recommend an enforcement action by the commission against Rumble. As in, they didn't do shit. We are providing this notice under the guidelines set out in the final paragraph of, the Securities Act Release 5310, which states in part that the notice must in no way be constructed as indicating that the party has been exonerated or that no action may ultimately result from the staff's investigation. So they're fine. They did nothing. They looked into it. That should blow every short out of the water. Whatever the short thesis was, as of February 20th, 2024, in black and white from the SEC itself, they're basically saying, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. All right, let's see what the short numbers are on Rumble now that we're talking about it. You're wrong. All right, as of market open today, like right before the market opened, short interest 17.54%, cost to borrow 71, and utilization 94.52. Those are the numbers as of this morning. In fact, I would hate to be a rum short right about now. All right, let's get those numbers out to the world. I think I forgot about it. Blah, 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 blah.
Order filled.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. All right, what did I say the numbers were? 17.54. 17. Makes sense that this is dropping a little bit here. Makes sense. 71.09 is the 71.09. And then the final utilization number, 94.52. 94.52. Important note. The SEC has concluded their we'll put it in investigation and has found no wrongdoing. The SEC has concluded their investigation and has found let's look cool and has found no wrongdoing. Oh, let's tag people. Let's just start tagging people. Post. All right. That's pretty big news. That's
order filled.
Uh-oh. Am I getting blown out? SMCI picking up. That's not good. NVIDIA holding. NVIDIA, I'm kind of here just to watch it, to see how it goes. But I think what matters is the report. So today's action, to the best of my knowledge, the day before earning, like the trading session before earning, the cash session before earnings, I've never seen any model that is actually predictive of how the earnings goes. Let's see how this is.
Order filled.
I was hoping it was more in the green. What is happening? That's a lot of red there, team. That's not the red that I wanted to see. Fucking what? What? It's just getting chopped up. Really chopped. All right, I need a move. If this doesn't have I don't care at this point. Like, I just need a nice move to the upside, a nice move to the downside. I'm not gonna be picky here. Boy's not gonna be picky. I'm just happy for a big move. Even though we're seeing a bit of strength right now, I do want to clarify that the 5, the 10, and the 30, all these EMAs do favor the bears. I mean, bearish. The 30-minute is considerably bearish. The 10-minute may be trying to flip, but getting rejected in the 5, similar situation. If you were to look at the Qs, load layout, Qs, what do we have here? Bearish. So I get this opening pop maybe looks a little bit bullish, but when you take a step back and really dive into it, I would actually argue the opposite. At least the way I view the market. And don't forget, I am literally the best trader ever. So that's something to consider. But going in the way of my thesis is the fact that the options market is picking up pretty heavily. Very quickly, just so you guys know, the stuff that, nope, that's the wrong one. Well, I'm about to take down the comment that is the Goonie Discord. So if you're trying to get into the Goonie Discord, I'm going to give you like a minute to click on that link. It's also in the description of the video. So if you don't get it as a pinned link, but I do need to switch it out just because I want to let you guys know about something else. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm switching out the pinned comment on Rumble. They're just both there. It's the first pinned comment under the video. Anyway, what I just replaced it with was this, because today is the final day of the 1-day approval. So if you're interested in the whole sim to funded thing, aka what I'm doing here, where I'm trading with other people's money and trying to hit it big so I could actually take out money. Someone did ask how much money have I taken out. I've taken out over 10 grand already from this myself. So anyway, right now it's a 1-day pass. So there's typically, there's different account sizes. Where are the account sizes? Right here. There's different account sizes. The most popular one is the 50K account. And if you're doing a 50K account, the way you pass the test is you have to get 3,000 in profits without having a 2.5K drawdown from your unrealized. That's what the test is. Once you do that, you normally also have to trade for 7 individual days. Right now, they're running a deal where you don't have to trade that. If you do it in 1 day, you do it in 1 day. So if you buy an account today, make 3K, you're done. You pass the test. And then that's when it would be converted over to a PA account. And after a PA account, that's when you can actually start taking out money. Once again, if you trade well enough. So you pass the test and it goes from an Apex account to a PA, a personal account, a performance account. And so that's what the PA stands for, performance account. If you do well on a PA account, that's when you could take out actual money if you trade well enough. So anyway, just want to let you guys know, it's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. If you use the code Goonie, that's how you get the deal, where whatever the deal is that they're currently running, just so everyone knows. So once again, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. And let me take that down for now. All right, market starting to turn the other way. Options turning a little bit. And my robots are getting their asses handed to them. I need some big mover. These are going to blow out. So basically on the bottom here, to better explain it, see how this starts with just Apex? These are the 3 that I'm trying to pass the test on. And then these PA ones are the ones I already passed the test on. And I'm just trying to trade well on it so I can get money and take money out of this. So anyway, the bottom 3, I'm trading it very, very aggressively to try to quickly pass it, because today is the last day where there's a 1-day approval. So I'm trading it hyper aggressively. And then these other ones, I don't even know if I turned them on or what's going on right now. I guess I'm just waiting to see what happens. It looks like all the NASDAQ stuff is trading because there's been enough of a movement, but the S&P 500 stuff has not been trading quite yet. So hopefully this all gets back into the green relatively soon. That would be a nice win. SPY just kind of doing whatever. Right now, the SPY kind of just at its opening range. Where were we today? We opened below the close of yesterday, but to what degree? We opened down 0.27%. Let me check my handy dandy math here to know what I'm doing. Opening below. Okay. The chance of us below, all right, 65. The chance of a gap fill, gap to close is 66. So 65% chance of closing below. 65% chance of closing below yesterday's low. 66% chance of us touching yesterday's close, though. And they're not necessarily mutually exclusive. Interesting. Interessante. Well, looks a bit bearish to me, amigo. Looks a bit bearish to me, amigo. Where did we close yesterday? We close. Whoa. Getting a bit rocked right now. The Qs are getting a bit. Am I making money back? All right. We're clawing it back. Slowly but surely, we are clawing it back, which is kind of a bummer because I should have probably just stopped today when I was up 500 on all those accounts. But when in doubt, I guess I'm just greedy, I suppose. I don't know. I suppose it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. I kind of want to start posting some of these analysis and thoughts and breaks down on public. Feed. Right. Next. Done. 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 A poll. How are you feeling about NVIDIA's earnings? Very bullish. Bullish.
Order filled.
Bearish. Very bearish. Post. All right. If you're on public, you can answer the poll. Or you could just tell me in here. Done. Done. Ooh. Wait, feed. How do you view your own profile on this? View profile. Viewing profile. Am I getting whipped? Yeah. No, it very much appears that my positions are currently getting whipped. All right. All right. Okay, what time is it? 9:45. We are just 15 minutes into the day, and thus far, the Qs have been a bit weaker. The Qs started vomiting at 9:40. I'm actually surprised SMCI is holding above 700. NVIDIA went up, little bit of bullishness since then. It's gotten a bit rocked. The SPY is holding on better than the Qs. Most likely, it's because of the same trend we saw yesterday, where the financial sector is holding. Financial, it's flat. Technically, it's sold a little flat. What's going up right now? Energy is popping off. So yesterday, financial was like the strong sector. Today, it's energy. What's crude oil? Crude oil is trading at 77. So if you want to know what's bullish in the market right now, it's anything related to energy, apparently. Financials are flat. Utilities are picking up too. So energy and utilities are looking good. Industrial is not doing much. Healthcare not doing much. Technology going down. So XLK, the tech sector of the S&P 500, down. XLE, energy, and XLU, energy and utilities, are going up. So, and then all the other sectors as of now are pretty much flat. What's Tesla doing? Tesla's having a good day. Tesla's green. Rum's green. I'm surprised Rum isn't way more green.
Order filled.
Oh my God, dude. Every time it says that, I just know I'm hemorrhaging money. What are we doing? What are we doing? Well, that one's somewhat green. All right. I mean, that's a nice trade to go up 500, but not so much when you were somehow locked in a loss of 1,000. All right. I just need this to keep going, just even to get. What is this account? What is 106 doing? What is 106? 106, 106, 106, 106. Yes. Dude, I'm just getting. Your boy's getting hit. Your boy's getting hit this morning. Maybe I shouldn't have talked so much shit on the Chinese quants. SEC closes investigation into free speech platform Rum. We covered that. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. Do I still have my Tesla calls? I certainly do. Certainly do. All right, where are we at? Where are we at with everything? Options market looking a little bit jagged. Little bit jagged. Oh, I did need to do a quick calculation.
Order filled.
Dude, not good. It's going to get whipped unless this is just the bottom of the day. Where are we at? Chance of an upside gap fill. True. What is 2.5%? 5. All right. Your boy needs to make 1.5K today or
Order
else.
filled.
Or else. Dude, these bots, what are they doing to me? Tesla's picking up. NVIDIA, what's NVIDIA doing? NVIDIA's catching a bit of a bid. A bit of a bid. All right. I didn't ask you guys quite yet. Thoughts on NVIDIA's earnings. Are you very bullish, bearish, or very bearish? If you had to bet your entire life's net worth and your neighbor's entire life's net worth on NVIDIA today, well, technically for tomorrow, would you be very bullish, bearish, or very bearish? Those are your 4 options, and I need to know. I want to know if you guys are right or wrong. No clue. Well, you better get a clue because you're betting your entire life's net worth. We got some bullish, bearish, neutral to bearish. You can't bet neutral. That was not an option, Jason. Call me crazy, but I'm bearish. All right, crazy. You guys are actually a lot more split than I thought you would be. A lot more split than I thought you would be. Stock price reaction, bearish. Well, that's inherently the only thing that matters because it's the stock price's reaction that makes you or loses you money. Interessante. Well, NVIDIA getting a bit hit this morning. We have Tesla looking good, and then RUM's also looking good, which I'm surprised RUM's not rallying a bit harder right now on the SEC closing their investigation. I mean, did Culper say something? I bet Culper is just fucking punching the air. So angry. Nope, I should probably spell it right.
Order filled.
Culper Research. This is the only player we know of publicly that's short a RUM. Obviously, there has to be other players, but this is the only one. The last time they spoke, they have to be so pissed. They have to be so pissed. Kick streamer apologizes to Mexican cartel after disrespecting El Chapo on stream. What?
I know the cartel is crazy, but somebody came in my chat named El Chapa. He just made the account. He's obviously said he's part of the cartel. He's obviously fake cartel. He wouldn't be on the website on Kick trolling in the chat. But, he threatened my family, so I was just saying, fake the fuck the cartel. But we know he's not really part of the cartel. The real cartel, I would never disrespect. El Chopper, I know how your mans gets. I know how the cartel gets. They're ruthless, all masked up. They would slice me like, some salami at the, like cold cuts, They would turn me to cold cuts. I'm shaking in my voice just imagining how you guys would yoke my little bitch ass up and just slice me up and give no fucks. You know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all to, do nothing to me or my family. I'm a bitch. I just want to apologize, to all the Mexican people. I love Mexican. I think about going to, Mexico this year, and I don't want no static with none of y'all, I would love to get on the phone with El Chapo and him tell me that me and him is good, El Chapo, I would love to be part of the cartel and work for you, big dog, you know what I'm saying? You own damn near half the U.S., and, you own the whole entire Mexico, state. So, I just want to apologize to all my Mexican people. I love Mexico, you know what I'm saying? Just, I see, y'all going out for El Chapo. He's a crazy motherfucker. I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? I'm a bitch ass nigga. I guess I was that racist slur the Mexican person called me, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if he's really part of the cartel. I doubt it, you know what I'm saying? He's a little kid. But if he is, I'm sorry too. You know what I'm saying? Just leave
Order
me alone,
filled.
leave my family alone.
Was that a job application? That definitely had a certain vibe to it, for sure. That like it was an apology, but then he's like, "Oh, I'd like to work for you," and I'm pretty sure isn't El Chapo in like a super high security, like max level security prison? I don't think max security prisons allow people to watch Kick or use the internet or anything like that. Little confused. Your boy's a little bit confused by the vibe of that video, but I suppose it is what it is. I suppose it is what it is. A little bit, maybe reasonably scared. I don't know. I just don't think they're letting him watch Kick streams. I just don't think they're letting him watch any Kick streams. All right. I think there was another thing. This one. Billionaire Bitcoin hodler Michael Gigachad Saylor. Fun fact, Gigachad is his legal middle name. Says there's not enough Bitcoin. Supply squeeze is coming.
Last I checked, you have just under 200,000 Bitcoin. You take a look at the new spot Bitcoin ETFs. All told, they own over 700,000. Of course, a lot of that is the Grayscale Trust, but a lot of that, too, 200,000 or so, is from the 9 new ETFs on the market. With this new competition, is it going to become harder to source new Bitcoin for MicroStrategy to buy?
Of course.
Well, I think it's a very virtuous cycle. The spot ETFs have opened up a gateway for institutional capital to flow into the Bitcoin ecosystem. The demand for the spot ETFs, especially the new ones, net, has been far in excess of the supply from the miners every day. In some cases, up to 8 to 10 times as much demand as supply every day. This is a rising tide that's going to lift all boats. MicroStrategy has got a levered operating strategy for Bitcoin. But if you look at what these spot ETFs are doing, they're facilitating the digital transformation of capital. And every day, hundreds of millions of dollars of capital is flowing from the traditional analog ecosystem into the digital economy.
And to your point, I mean, actually, Gemini co-founder Cameron Winklevoss, he tweeted last week that the demand from the new Bitcoin ETFs, it's at least 10 times as much as the number of new tokens that are actually being minted by those miners. So really interesting supply-demand dynamics going on there. But let's talk about your existing holdings. As I mentioned in the intro, now worth around $10 billion. You have paper gains of about 70% or so, which a lot of people would like to see that sort of return. At any point, would you sell? When would it make sense to take profits?
5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minutes, still bearish. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minutes, still bearish.
Bitcoin is the exit strategy. It is the strongest asset. So what we see right now is the Bitcoin has just emerged as a $1 trillion asset class. And it's alongside names like
options
Apple
are
and
aggressively
Google and Microsoft.
bullish.
But the difference between Bitcoin
Look at
and
all these calls being
7
bought
is
and some
Bitcoin's an
puts being
asset
sold,
class.
but
It's
calls
not a
being bought
company.
pretty hard.
There's not enough room in the capital structure of those companies to hold $10 trillion or $100 trillion worth of capital. So Bitcoin's competing against gold, which is 10x what it is right now. It's competing against the S&P index. It's competing against real estate, a $100 trillion plus asset class, as a store of value. So we believe capital is going to keep flowing from those asset classes into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is technically superior to those asset classes. And that being the case, there's just no reason to sell the winner to buy the losers.
Not going well for me today, team. We're going to need the comeback of a century to not blow these accounts out. Speaking of that, once again, if you're just joining in right now, I'm doing this all via Apex. You pass a test. If you pass the test, then you trade. And if you trade well enough, you can get real money. I don't know if you guys can see this at all, but literally just came in today. Is that showing up on my email? It says PA payout approved, and I got 3 of them. So I just took out 2K, 2K, 2K. So literally just got paid 6K from 3 of the accounts that did well. So right there, another 6K. Is there a way where I can make that clear? I don't think you guys saw it. PA, yeah, you guys can kind of see it a little bit. But yeah, do you get paid? Literally just got 6K. So yeah, you do. But I don't want it to make it seem like it's not easy. Like if you're a shit trader, no, you're not going to get paid. If you're a good trader, I'm finding out that maybe I'm just not a good trader because like it takes me a bit to get it too. But yeah, I think in total, I've definitely taken out more than $10,000 from Apex. Hello, Matt. Shall try your link. Well, good luck with it. Remember, you pass the test. After the test, you kind of restart and it goes from Apex to PA Apex. And then if you trade well on PA, that's when you could start taking out money. And you could do per account on a 50K account, you could take out 4K a month. So you could do 2 payout requests of 2K each. And then that lasts for the first 3 months. And then after that 3 months, then you could take out as much as you want if you don't blow it up.
Order filled.
Are you net profitable on Apex? Pretty sure I am, yeah. I mean, I'd have to run this. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but based on the amount of money that Apex, like I've been paid with payouts, I don't envision a world in which I wouldn't be, but I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. How does Apex make money just solely from the monthly fees? So obviously they make quite a bit of money from the monthly fees, but if you trade well, like by the time you go into PA, you keep the first 25,000 in profits. And then after that, it's a 90-10 split. So that's why they want good traders, because basically they're running a bunch of their own like little mini hedge funds or something. Like it's a 90-10 split. So if you're a profitable trader, you keep the first 25K. And after that, you're in a 90-10, like a 90%, you keep 90, they keep 10. So the better you trade, they want you because you're making them money. If you blow up your PA account, do you have to reset or do you have to take the test again? You have to take the test again. I mean, think about that. If you blow it up, that means something's up. So they're not just gonna like let you do it again. Something's up if you blow it up. I mean, think about it. If you ran the company and someone blew up their account, wouldn't you make them take the test again? My sock says wall on the toe, I guess, so I know how to put them on. That's always helpful. What's the rum news? The SEC has concluded their investigation into the company and has found no evidence of wrongdoing. There's an option for a PA reset. Yeah, that doesn't mean it starts as a PA account again. You're just resetting that account, but the reset brings you back to like the challenge. SEC determined no wrongdoing by Rum, who was accused of doing something fraudulent. Actually, we don't know what they were accused of. That wasn't public. Like the SEC did not state what they were investigating him for. So accused of doing something fraudulent, we don't know what it relates to. That was not publicly shared. Let's go back to the options market, it's still bullish. Something doesn't make sense. The options market has literally been bullish since open, and price has been effectively going nowhere. Strange mismatch. SMCI, let me know if this breaks down below like 700. I think SMCI is going to get murked. I would love for Tesla to rip to 205. There's that nice upside gap fill. Bitcoin holding just below 51,000. What else do you got? Pan W. This stock just got rocked by its earnings, down 26% right now, 27%. Pan W getting murked. HSBC down 9%. So HSBC getting murked, Pan W getting murked. Nvidia is coming out after the market closes today, currently down 1.9%. What other ones? LCID, is that Lucid? Lucid reports, that's actually in the green. Rivian, RIVN, they are slightly in the red. What else? Etsy, ETSY, Etsy. Etsy's up a little bit. They report after earnings as well. How's Coin doing today?
Order filled.
Coin is trading at 163. I was happy to get out of that when I did. Market's catching a bit of a bid here. The SPY, the Qs. I mean, something
filled.
didn't make sense. This pop now makes sense. I mean, look at this. Look at how strong the options market has been. It's just been going. So I guess there's a little bit of, if tech starts to catch a bid, the SPY will really go, because we know energy and utilities have been good. Industrials, healthcare, and financials have been flat.
Order filled.
So if tech starts going, there's nothing dragging the SPY down anymore, and it'll just probably pop. Let me check in. Dude, I am getting rocked right now. Rocked, dare I say it. I don't care if it's bullish or bearish at this point. I just need a nice move. A nice move.
Order filled.
Piper just fired off. If you are in the Discord, I'm giving you the signal right now. Right now. Right now. I just need to type faster. Typing as fast as I can. Could be a very strange day. All right. It's there. I haven't done any trades yet, but if you're in the Discord, the Piper signal, I just relayed the message. I guess on that note, should I do my trade today? Should I? 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 Oh, brother. 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 All right. Let's see what we could do. Let's see what we could do. Let's see what we could do. Coin catching a bit of a bid. Interesting. How's Nvidia doing? That's kind of like the bell of the ball today. Nvidia chilling at 682. Rum 716. Bell of the ball. Bell of the ball. All right, let me actually screenshot that. La da 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 da. All right, got it. Got it. Secured it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Secured it. All right. Here are the details. Upload file. Did I do the right thing? I did do the right thing. All right. As I alluded to a little bit, does it have enough oomph? So, couple things I'm considering is, first of all, we know before the market closes today, two things going down. At 1 p.m., we have the results of the 20-year bond auction. And then at 2 p.m., we have the FOMC meeting minutes from the last FOMC meeting. So those are interesting, I guess, binary events to consider of like, all right, is it bullish? It's not really binary. I guess they could just be neutral. But anyway, those are things to consider for the afternoon. Obviously, with respect to market open, the price has been a bit choppy, just picking up now. But I mean, people have been aggressively leaning into the bullish position on the options market. So if this holds flat or keeps going, I'll like that. Obviously, if it dips, Now, my hesitance with today is the fact that the 5, the 10, and the 30 are actually bearish. So the 5-minute, that's a nice candle right there, trying to go back bullish. The 10-minute, that's a nice candle, trying to go back bullish. The 30-minute, still clearly in the bearish territory. Now, if you look at the NASDAQ, similar situation. The 5 trying to go back bullish, the 10 minutes testing right now, and the 30-minute is decently far away from converting from bearish to bullish. Now, obviously, if you look at the daily, it's still in the bullish world, but it's 3 higher low or lower highs, 3 lower lows. So not the best situation there, but it could be switching. We could be switching trend. Obviously, yesterday a bit bearish, the overnight session a bit bearish, but I mean,
order filled.
This could be the pivot. It could easily be the pivot. I think the day would be easier if it's a bullish day, just because that means that there's optimism going into these 2 reports. There's optimism going into Nvidia, but I mean, the market doesn't necessarily care if you're bullish or want something easy or not. So I'll be paying attention to it. I'll see what's going on here. We'll see what's going on here. If this can hold, if the 10-minute, if we can close out the next minute 15 seconds above this 48 EMA, I would take that as a short-term win. But really what I want to do is see the S&P 500 futures market push above 86.50, which is the 48 EMA on the 30-minute. So I'm taking this as a small victory, hopefully in the next 60 seconds, but then my eyes would look over to what's going on with the S&P 500. The NASDAQ is actually showing more weakness. The 5-minute couldn't really hold. It pushed above, then got smacked. So definitely something worthwhile paying attention to. Options market is just now flat ever since 10:04, ever since the turn. Let's see. Patience. I would say it was a bit choppy, but then something kind of switched at, I don't know, 9:50. About 20 minutes into the trading day, I guess the bulls started to wake up. SMCI, I want that one to get cratered. Tesla holding at 198. Would love to see above 200 today. We'll see how it all goes. Is Piper giving a signal based off Fed minutes and NVIDIA predictions? Not at all. I don't think anyone could accurately create a system or a model on the anticipation of FOMC meeting minutes. Earnings predictions are very much a real thing. I think those models personally are weak. I've never seen a good, I guess I've seen a good one. I've never seen an amazing earnings prediction model ever. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying I've never come across it. But Piper is not it's just inherently that's not how Piper's signal is built. Piper's signal is based on data in the first half hour to hour of the day. It's not predicting something happening in the afternoon. Hello, all. I am a mechanic working 6 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Any investing option tools could I get into? What do you mean tools? Like, are you asking, is options investing something you could do in your life? Yeah. I mean, you don't have to day trade options. You could swing trade it. For sure. All right. Hang on. Let me go to this profile. There are some other things. So we know the SEC investigation is done into Rumble. Good news.
Gensler said the other day that he trusts the Oracle database more than the blockchain.
That's because Gensler's a crazy person.
Ledger. That was bizarre, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, the blockchain is just one big piece of software, but, I would trust the proof of work concept that you now, instead of having 5 people manage an Oracle database, you have a consensus mechanism, and that's what's
So, but Tom, here's the flip side of that. And you've heard it from the Jamie Dimons of the world, maybe even Elizabeth Warrens and others who say, despite what you said about sort of how good the blockchain is to be able to find where things are, it is the medium of choice for ransomware. I mean, just you go through the list of sort of
I hate this argument.
Terrible illegal
way
behavior.
More illegal nefarious activities paid for in the U.S. dollar than Bitcoin.
What does that say about this?
It's so silly.
Pirates were the first people that liked gold, so we knew gold was a good store of value.
Pirates do like gold.
I think
Can confirm.
The dollar is used in more illicit activities.
99.
I know we talked about that, obviously.
99.9.
And Joe's made that point before, but you don't. So you ascribe nothing to the idea that Bitcoin is a beloved currency for those who are trying to do nefarious things?
Well, here's a way to think of it. Criminals don't trust anybody, but they trust Bitcoin. And so if you want to say what is a trusted asset, it's really what would be the least trustworthy.
This is like saying you follow the technology that starts with PORN, right?
No, I think
because that's.
I think it's like
PORN.
It's like blaming the object for itself for the nefarious behavior when it's the humans that are using that.
PORN. Whoa there, Andrew. I didn't know we were gonna have to be hooked on phonics to watch the show. All right, what was this? Oh, this one was crazy. This is a worthwhile listen from Tucker.
So I'm over in Moscow. I'm waiting to do this interview. It gets out that we're doing it, and I'm immediately denounced by this guy called Boris Johnson, who was for a short time the Prime Minister of Great Britain. And Boris Johnson calls me a tool of the Kremlin or something. And I'm thinking, well, that's I mean, his name's not actually Boris, as I'm sure you know. His name is Alex Johnson. He called himself Boris in high school. So the guy who calls himself Boris is accusing me? So I was annoyed. So I put in a request for an interview with Boris Johnson, as I have many times, because he's constantly denouncing me as a tool of the Kremlin. He says no. So I'm thinking about saying I'm getting more annoyed. So I know a lot of people who know Boris Johnson. So I reach out to them. Finally, one of his advisors gets back to me and says, he will talk to you, but it's going to cost you $1 million. He wants $1 million in U.S. dollars, gold, or Bitcoin. No, this just happened yesterday or 2 days
Remember,
ago.
pirates like gold.
And I'm like, he wants $1 million. Yeah. And then he will talk to you about Ukraine. He will explain his position on Ukraine and explain what. So he attacks me without explaining how I'm wrong, of course, or how he's right. This is, by the way, the guy who single-handedly, at the request of the U.S. government, stopped the peace deal in Ukraine a year and a half ago and is, I think, for that reason, responsible for the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people. He won't explain any of that to me in an interview until I pay him $1 million. And I said to the guy, I just interviewed Vladimir Putin. I'm not defending Putin, but Putin didn't ask for $1 million. So you're telling me that Boris Johnson is a lot sleazier, a lot lower than Vladimir Putin.
Okay.
Which is true.
Yeah.
So this whole thing is a freaking shakedown. Why $60 billion?
Like
I mean, I could get boring on this because I've learned a lot about it. But $60 billion is not going to allow Ukraine to prevail over Russia. No honest person thinks that's going to work. This is a money laundering operation. A lot of the people involved in it are making money from it. And if you're making money off a war, you can deal with God on that, because that's really immoral. Like, that's actually really, really wrong. And a lot of people are, including Boris Johnson.
Pretty wild, old Boris Johnson there. Oh, this is a good one too. Hang on though. Hey Matt, does the 0DTE credit strategy count as a day trade, or does it not count as a day trade since it expires the same day? The fact that it expires the same day is going to make it count as a day trade. Yeah, because a day trade is defined as getting in and out of a position in the same calendar day. So with this one, especially if they manage it on you, but yeah, you need to consider that. And I get that question a lot of like, hang on, if I'm below 25K, like, can I trade this? Yeah, you just do it 3 days of the week. And there's actually multiple people in the Discord who do that. They're like, okay, I know I'm not going to do it 5 days. And sometimes the strategy doesn't fire every day. It did fire today. But that's the way you handle it. Is you're like, okay, you just get mentally prepared that you are using one of your day trades on it. This one is hilarious. I love when people think they're smart and they try to show how smart they are and try to make someone else feel dumb, and then yet they have clearly no idea what they're talking about, especially when it's in the domain of math and like, I get numbers better. One of the funniest clips I've seen in a while.
So why would God equip the average woman to be smarter than men? Do you think it's just for homeschooling their children?
Again, the claim that you made at first, which is that men and women have bell curves, the men's bell curve being wider than the woman's, would not imply that the average woman is smarter than the average man.
Oh, no.
It would line them up exactly.
The curve itself implies or actually indicates that
no, it would
on
just
average...
be the extremes.
No,
right,
no. If you actually look at the curves at the top, it's women taller than the men's curve.
But the IQ of the curve would be on the x-axis, right? That's where you get the extremes. So I think.
So are you disputing that on average women are more intelligent than men?
Imagine being so stupid that you don't understand bell curves and yet you're trying to like argue about intellect. Like that is inherently so comedic of like women are smarter. And then the way you're trying to argue it proves that you're dumb. Now, for those of you who are maybe not familiar with bell curves, let me explain what this on the screen means. It means men and women on average have the same IQ. But the fact that the men's is lower, because right here, this is IQ. So wherever you see the spike, that's where most people are. That's why they're spiked at the same level. So why is the men's shorter? It's because at the extremes, there's more people there. So what could you say here? Yes, you can say men and women have on average the same IQ, but you could also simultaneously say men have more intelligence and also there's a lot more showing of men being dumb. So the sizing at the extremes is larger for men as in terms of intellect and lack of intellect relative to women. Women are a lot more clustered, while men with the same average IQ as women, the distribution is wider, more smart and also a lot less smart. Uh-oh, something just got blown out.
Order filled.
Something just got blown out on this market. What happened here? The test failed, basically. So those three that I was trying to get to BPA are, you can safely say, are not PA. Do I want to buy three more before this test today? The 1 day test thing ends today. So I was just trying to, like I said, I was intentionally trading it very aggressively because I wanted to see if the robot could do it in 1 day. That's not necessarily how it's built. The robot is built a bit better to do like small singles that just add up over time. But I kind of cranked up the metrics on it today just to see if it could trade aggressively. And it did trade aggressively, just in the wrong way. I got unlucky. I got unlucky on that one there, Tonto. It happens. It happens. What else? Okay. What is this one? Free government healthcare for criminal aliens. Sign me up.
A lot of you have been talking tonight about these government healthcare plans that you've proposed in one form or another. This is a show of hands question, and hold them up for a moment so people can see. Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants. Okay. Let me start with you, Mayor Buttigieg. Why?
I mean, at least they were honest. At least they were honest. Justin, Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos sold another $2.37 billion of Amazon stock. Looking good, Jeff.
Order submitted.
I don't know why it's so funny. He sold it for family. He sold it for family. What else do we have going down? Why is this news? Nicki Minaj shares new photo. Thanks for the update, world, because that's what actually matters. Are Instagram likes really worth doing this? I can tell you 100%. If you are a child watching this right now, especially if you are particularly mentally malleable, this is the only way to succeed in life. You need to do extreme things to get social media validation. And if you don't, your life will suck. You will not do well in life unless you do this type of work. I'm telling you this. I am promising you this. To anyone who's listening to this below the age of 18, specifically if you are lost in life and don't really know if you should go to college, don't know if you should get a job, don't know if you should just be a reliable, reasonable person, that's the only way to succeed. I'm telling you this now. I wouldn't bullshit you, you know? I'm going to give you the God's honest truth. What is
Order
this one?
filled.
It's just not working well today, folks. It's just not working well. Every degenerate who missed out on a NVIDIA bull run trying to chase performance by buying options and earnings. Let's fucking bet on this. Let's bet on this shit. It's happening. YouTube mom Ruby Frank sentenced to 60 years in prison. What did she do? Reading what she did is a light sentence. Can anyone inform me like what happened? YouTube mom Ruby Frank, 60. You had to do something bad. Frank's son was found in a shocking state with reports stating that the child was malnourished. Was she starving her kid for content? What? 12-year-old son who appeared emaciated, had open wounds and duct tape around his extremities, had climbed through the window, asked the neighboring house for food and water. They found the 10-year-old daughter in the house also malnourished. They were taken to the hospital. So they were like strapped down and not fed. Dude, YouTubers, man, any content creator, if you ask me, is just not good. A former YouTuber who gave parenting advice. She gave parenting advice? Her niche was parenting advice, not kidnapping?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to District Court.
Parenting advice?
We're here for sentencing in the matter of State of Utah versus Ruby Franke. Ms. Franke is here with Mr. Windward, Mr. Clark, and Mr. Sham.
For the past 4 years, I've chosen to follow counsel and guidance that has led me into a dark delusion. My distorted version of reality went largely unchecked as I would isolate from anyone who challenged me. I was led to believe that this world was an evil place, filled with cops who control, hospitals that injure, government agencies that brainwash, church leaders who lie and lust, husbands who refuse to protect, and children who need abused.
From May to August in 2023, Ms. Franke and her business partner held her 2 children, ages 9 and 11, turning 12, in a concentration camp-like setting. The children were regularly denied food, water, beds to sleep in, and virtually all forms of entertainment. They were beaten, and the 12-year-old was regularly bound hand and foot after he attempted to run away in mid-July.
It is important to me to demonstrate my remorse and regret without blame. I take full accountability for my choices, and it is my preference that I serve a prison sentence.
The next matter before the court is State of Utah versus Hildebrand.
I'm confused. So for people like that, where they're like, yeah, no, I'm guilty. Like, if there isn't a question about it, why can't we just take him out back? Why as a society do we have to pay for them to be in prison? I don't get it. Like, it's a waste of our time, money, and resources. Let's just, you guys get what I'm saying.
Order filled.
I don't think I'm allowed to say it, but you guys get what I'm saying.
Order
just
filled.
a little bit out back. Go for a quick stroll in an adult abortion. Pretty much. It's pretty much. I just don't.
Order filled. Order filled.
Dude, what is happening right now? What kind of day are we about to have? Are options dumping? Price just took a hit. Options dumped a little, but not as extreme as price. There's been weird mismatch between the world of options today and the world of the price. I mean, look at this. Options all day, crazy bullish. Then it went flat with price. Then price just got hit, and yet options dipped a bit, but not that crazy.
Order filled.
Whatever. Oh, of course. I'm going to get whipped out of this. Just my lucky. The robots. Maybe I should have put more work into them rather than just barely figuring out how to make it work and then trading it. Enough prisons bring back exile? Do you think we should have a global vote to like kind of run Australia the way we used to run it. Like we'll take all the citizens out of Australia, put them in countries that they actually want to be in, and then from there, just kick it like the old days, like actually make it a penal colony. I guess if like as they're awaiting trial here in the U.S., like we'll do the same thing with Georgia. Georgia was a penal colony. We'll take all the citizens out and be like, hey, guess what? Whole state prison now. Just some. Come on, Matt. You say this, but if you were in a situation where you have to defend your lady, you might be taken away. You don't want them to take you out back. Come on, Matt. You say this, but if you're in a situation where you have to defend your lady, you might be taken away. Why would I be taken away? The fuck does that mean? Are you saying, wait, are you trying to defend a lady who abused her 2 children in concentration camp-esque situations? Jason, did any of your neurons fire before you said that? Matt, you say this, but if you were in a situation where you have to fucking, why would I defend her? You think I would defend my wife if she was abusing my kids? I don't even like when she looks at Piper the wrong way. I get frustrated if she pets her in a way that I don't deem appropriate. If I think Piper looks to be pet a little bit more on her head rather than under her throat, that frustrates me. You think I would fucking defend her if she was abusing my children? Did you recently hit your fucking head? It's been a while since we've seen a statement so incredibly fucking stupid, but you might take the cake on that one. Defend her. Is this just like some sort of weird displacement? Have you had to defend your wife for abusing your kids? Fucking what? Like, I don't you need to sit on those thoughts a little bit. Holy shit. Like, hey man, like imagine if like you had to no, she's a piece of shit. Dude, if you're abusing kids, you're like, as society, we've already kind of figured this out that like unanimously, one of the worst things you could do is be a child abuser. Like, don't need it. Fucking what? It's one thing if it's up for debate and the lady's like, I did not do this, I'm being framed. She's just like, yeah, no, I did it. Like, there's no question about it. She's like, we heard her. She's like, yeah, no, I'm a piece of shit. And that's what it is. I get it that one time, like if it's being debated and they're like, no, I did not do this. Yeah, okay, you should look into it. And then obviously that's where you get evidence and you go through the legal proceedings. I'm saying in the case where they're like, yeah, no, I did it. I just did it. Just let it rip. Those ones are pretty clear cut. Pretty clear cut. Harness your fears to your advantage. Hell yeah. What's this?
You need to harness your fears to your advantage. Whenever I'm in a negotiation and I can feel myself losing money, I get an erection the size of Texas, okay? This is called a fear boner. I know the deal's going south when I can feel my hog bursting through the seams of my pants. If I can't stand up in a meeting, then I know I need to steer the conversation back in a more profitable direction. And if I don't get hard, well, then I know something's up. Something's not right. This has been too easy. Is this guy trying to trick me? Pioneers need a compass to point them in the right directions. I need my cock. That's my compass. That's my North Star. And the harder I get, the more money I'll save. Questions?
Cool.
Yeah.
Questions?
You need to harness your fear.
More entrepreneurship education. Now you could say you learned something. This is Amanda Bynes from the Amanda Show, from She's the Man. Amanda Bynes now cameo and talks Favorite film, TV show she filmed.
Hey Hillary, it's Amanda Bynes here. I wanted to thank you so much for saying I'm going to be an amazing manicurist. That means a lot to me. I cannot wait to get my license. I'm so excited to start doing nails. I hope you'll come to my nail salon when I get my license. That would be great. I would love to meet you. And to answer your question, what was my favorite film or TV project that I worked on? I would probably say What I Like About You. That TV show was super fun. I loved working with Jenny Garth and Leslie Grossman, Wesley Jonathan, and Simon Rex. It was such a great experience, so that would probably be my favorite project that I worked on. Thanks again for asking me to make a video for you. Have a great day.
All I can say is...
Dude, Hollywood is vicious. Definitely probably ruined her life. Simple side hustle. Siphon
Order
gas.
submitted.
Well, there that one goes. Simple side hustle. Siphon gas out of your neighbor's car when they're busy. $100 worth of gas every 10 minutes, 8 cars at a time, 24/7 operation, $420,000 per year side hustle. More financial tips. Follow for more financial tips. What are we seeing? What else are we seeing? Is this true? Earth, if NVIDIA misses tonight, can anyone confirm this? Is this what's going to happen if, in fact, they do miss earnings? Need to know. Need to know. Primal Instinct. Is that a TV? Orange cat helping the other orange cat. Get it. Get him. Yeah. Go cat.
Different communities across the country voice a growing despair over what they perceive to be unequal treatment.
I was at home and I heard about this and it pissed me off because his rhetoric directly 100% the rhetoric from leaders in the black community like Al Sharpton and Barack Obama led to this shooting.
Yes.
Period. It was the straightest line you could freaking draw.
It was the first round of Black Lives Matter.
Exactly. He comes out, comments on Trayvon Martin when apparently every other ongoing investigation is the White House doesn't comment on an ongoing investigation. He fans the flames a little bit.
Yeah.
All of this stuff is happening, and more stuff had happened at that point. And then these police officers were killed. And he comes out and says this. Instead of just saying, hey, I'm really sorry for your loss. We have to do something about crime in this country. We have to do something about people lashing out in this country.
I don't know what
we
this
have to
is
do something
in
about
reference to.
Whatever,
it was in 2016.
fixing the problems. He comes out and gives a speech about telling your kids the right thing to do because they may act up. You mean like pulling a gun from your waistband in Chicago? You mean like attacking a cop in Ferguson?
Right.
That acting up? Is that what you're talking about? A guy was killed that went to my church. He was a police officer. Heard about this.
What's this in reference to? Fallen Dallas police officer, July 12th, 2016. I don't know what that was in reference to. Options market was ripping, very flat, bearish, aligning with this fall. Now prices getting choppy, and so are options. Watching calls, we kind of saw this weird phenomena yesterday where now kind of like 2 days, a day and a half in a row of just some aggressive call purchasing. So the calls are the orange line and the green line. The orange line is the all expiration net delta, and then the green line is the 0 DT. Oh, what's interesting is in the bottom here, maybe I could scroll in a little bit more. We're starting to see a curl up in the puts as in puts are being closed out on that. So on this double bottom situation, we are legitimately seeing that they are take the puts that played this right here, the SPX falling. They took profits on the second double bottom, a little bit on the first bottom. I mean, it perfectly aligns, pops a little bit, and then double bottom, you're seeing the puts curl up. But obviously things can keep changing, but let's monitor that and see how it goes. While it'll be interesting, the calls are flat right now. Calls did throw in the towel a little bit. Calls were taking some profits right here, but right now they're holding flat on both the all expiration and the 0 DT. So we'll come back to that, check it out. see if we get some sort of bounce. So the 5-minute tried to get above, tried to go green, was green for a little bit, then got beat up at 10:30. The 10-minute never converted the EMA cloud. The 10-minute tried to push up, got a close, another close, and could not get that third close. And really the most problematic thing for the day traders, I would argue, is if you're bullish, is this ES30. It didn't even get up to test. If we look over to the tech sector, similar situation. The 5-minute got above, cloud never went green. 10-minute went up, didn't even get above and close above. It got smacked, and the 30-minute is considerably far away from where it needs to go to even fight green. So right now, tech on a relative basis is weaker. It's down 0.7%, while the SPY is down 0.3%. So what's happening? Well, okay, XLK, the tech sector of the S&P 500, bit weaker, and then the SPY is outperforming because we have energy and utilities that are looking good. XLE, energy plays are very much in the green today, and then XLU, utilities did pop. They're kind of flat right now. Healthcare going down a little bit. Industrials catching a bid. That's interesting. What else do we have? Utilities. Well, here's tech. XLK is tech. XLK and QQQ are very similar, but they also have distinct differences. So understand that they're going to be correlated, but they are not the same thing. Really, the Qs are best defined, I would argue, as the biggest players in the S&P 500, excluding financials. So there are some non-tech plays in the Qs, while XLK is literally the tech plays of the S&P 500. So XLK arguably is a more pure tech play than the Qs. Really, the defining factor of the Qs is lack of financials, while XLK is just tech. Just so everyone knows, XLU, XLI, XLE, XLF. How's financials are actually starting to catch a bid. Choppy, sideways. We're kind of right at our opening value, so we've kind of violently done a good job of going nowhere today. Calls being slightly purchased and puts being closed out, so let's just keep monitoring that. Let's see what this net delta is going to do. Would love to do how Qs have to be a different story. Add tab. Yeah, the Qs are very much a different story today. Puts, what is going on? The calls down here. Huge discrepancy in what in the world's happening between the tech sector and the overall market. But in terms of the overall market, we do see calls being purchased ever since 10:30. Let's just watch. This is now a game of probably watching paint dry just to see if it's going to break one way or the other, or maybe literally just nothing happens today. Maybe everyone is just so like, oh, we got to wait for NVIDIA, that it just might be like kind of a non-movement, choppy, shitty day, which is literally the worst situation for me to run the bot. And yet here we are running the bot. Fuck my life. Why do I do this to myself? Chopped up. All right, let's run one more. One more. What's the worst that could happen, you know? What's the worst that could happen? Let's do this one. Let me get the right chart. All right, let's do this. Okay. Oop. Edit. 105. I need to get the right account. Okay. All right. Cool beans. Let's see how that all plays out. All right. Is there any breaking news? If not, we could go over to Reacts. Very interested in monitoring options. Puts are getting closed. Yeah, some calls are being purchased, but more puts are being closed. Minutes at 2 p.m. 20-year action 1, as well as Fed speaker. Love y'all. Shout out Seth. What's up, dude? What's up, Duty? And Kevin becoming a bot fighter. Shout out, Kevin. It's very kind of you. It's very kind of you. This has nothing to do with the market, but wait, where is it? Do you guys think maybe we got it wrong by giving Britney control of her life back? Because this is Britney Spears now, after we, I guess, unanimously as society pressured the judges into ending the conservatorship. She still has it. She still has those moves. Pretty much a live shot of me getting ready for any big Fed announcement. It's pretty much how it goes. How a millionaire laughed versus how a billionaire laughed after selling $8.4 billion of stock in week. Further explained by Jim Carrey. All right. How do millionaires versus billionaires laugh?
Hi there, who are you?
I'm Jeff Bezos.
And what is your claim to fame?
I'm the founder of Amazon.com.
I'm going to get some safety goggles next time.
Like, it's changed the way I laugh at parties.
Oh, really?
You know, I used to go, that's really funny. You know, now I go, oh! Oh, beautiful!
Have you guys heard this one? Oh!
You laugh that way because you know you're wealthy. Is that?
I'm very wealthy, and that's
odd.
That's how wealthy people laugh.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Oh!
Hi there, who are you?
I'm Jeff
Bezos. I guess we have proof. We can't disprove it at this point. Oh! You get a load of this guy. Oh, man. Well, we're still right at where maybe we don't want to be, you know? We're just kind of not doing anything. I guess we can mark out some intraday lows and highs and know if there's a breakdown or breakout, but until then, I guess we're just clowning around. A big clown day. Big clown day. All right. I have alerts. Breakouts, breakdowns on alert. We're a little bit closer, I suppose, to breaking down than we are breaking out, but who knows? Maybe rum will save the whole market. Tesla kind of finding a bit of equilibrium at 196. Rum and Tesla are the only green things on my watch list. Bitcoin just recaptured 51,000. Apple slightly green. Amazon slightly green. Tesla's the most green. Microsoft slightly in the red. Coin very much in the red. Netflix slightly in the red. Meta mediocrely in the red. Oil 77.50 in the green. Gold bouncing back
Order
to 2040. Bonds slightly red. AMD mediocrely red. Right now, it's a patience game. You got to wait for something. We did nothing, dropped a little, popped, gave it all right back. We're just chopping right now. This is just chopping. Matt, you still have your calls for 3-1. Yes. Thoughts on it? I have no idea. I think those types of questions are inherent to how retail traders are taught of like, where do you think this is going to go? And that's not how you make money actively trading. How you make money actively trading is knowing the perceived odds of the situation and then taking the bet if accurate. Like, for example, the best way I could explain it is if you're playing blackjack, you don't sit there and say, is the next one gonna be a king? You know the odds based on the current situation, and if it's reasonable odds, you make the bet. If it's really good odds, you bet more, and if it's shitty odds, you bet minimum or you don't bet
Order
at all.
filled.
No one can accurately predict in the short term. You just can't. Even these quants and high frequency traders, they're not predicting. They're looking at the odds of the situation and they're playing the odds. That's how you win this game. So this idea of let's use a closer example. Let's talk about NVIDIA. NVIDIA. Everyone's guess is as good as someone else's. Are they going to beat? I don't know. Are they going to miss? I don't know. It's 50-50. So it's this game of prediction is not how you win in the market, in my opinion. It's much more of a reasonable thing to do the longer your trade, i.e. when it becomes an investment. Okay, like you're predicting, will this industry grow? Will this company be popular? Will this company's management and leadership team execute? A bit more predictive. So your prediction could be, hey, I predict EVs will be even more popular a decade from now. But when you're predicting on those grand scales, it has nothing to do with the short term. And in fact, we know this from many, many studies. The shorter your time frame, the more randomness there is involved, as in there's not much correlation with the fundamentals. Just because something is fundamentally strong or weak has nothing to do with what it does that minute, that 5 minutes, or even that day. There could be a large discrepancy between fundamental inherent value and short-term movement. So if you're focusing on the short term, if you are a day trader or a short-term swing trader, what matters to you is probabilities, the probabilities of setups. Take the good probabilities, take the net positive EV situations, expected value, and avoid the net negative ones. That's what the game of short-term trading and swing trading is. And I've been through this myself. Like, I've been through all these classes and courses and gurus where they try to pitch you of like, oh, I just have a fucking gut feeling about this earning, that earning. Like, no, they don't. No, they don't. I inherently believe the way trading, I'm not talking about investing, the way trading is taught to the retail community is about as wrong as it could be. And my proof for that is the fact that 90 to 95% of retail traders lose money. If 90 to 95% of people were failing a test in school, you could probably safely say, oh, they're not teaching the subject right if that many people are failing. So why is it any different in trading? If I tell you 90 to 95% fail, which we know from brokerages reporting, like this is all public information, maybe the way it's being taught is not the right way to be successful. Does that like cross anyone's mind? Regarding Apex, Rhythmic, or Trade-Evade, depends on how you want to do it. I use Rhythmic because I'm connected to NinjaTrader, but if you want to do something like TradingView, you could do Trade-Evade. But I have NinjaTrader on my computer, so I just go via Rhythmic. Gold curtain. I don't think we have a way to live check due to delayed reporting. Oh, about politicians? Yeah, politicians have up to 45 days to report their trades, so they don't have to do it in real time. And in fact, most of them don't do it in real time. So like Pelosi, she waits about like a month later and then reports it. So you can mimic politicians. You just can't do it in real time because they don't report their trades in real time. And in fact, it actually could be worse than that because they legally have up to 45 days to report it. And then also there's a chance that the database that they're reporting it to doesn't update for 45 days. We live in a world where theoretically it is above board for a politician to trade a stock or whatever commodity related to their positions, and the world does not find out about it for 90 days. We live in a world where that could be 100% above board. You're saying they don't have gut feelings. I think everyone has gut feelings. Yeah, but gut feelings are not good in the market. I mean, this isn't a debatable thing. Yeah, you have gut feelings. And you know where your gut feelings get you? They get you to lose money in your account. You're not going to find people out there who have gut feelings and are net profitable. If they are, they're going to be like working somewhere. They're not retail, and they're definitely not teaching retail. The people with gut feelings, all the odds suggest that if you're trading on gut feeling, which is the retail community, 90 to 95% end up worse off than when they started. The game of active trading is stacked against you. The odds are not good, which is telling you that if you're doing what everyone else is doing, there's a high percentage chance, in fact, a 90 to 95% chance you're going to lose money. You have to do something different if you want different results. This isn't some deeply mathematical, philosophical call out. This is called basic fucking logic. If I tell you in the world that 90 to 95% of people fail at a certain thing, and then you go and do what most people are doing, as in a huge overlap with that 90 to 95%, the odds suggest that you are going to fail. Now, of course, there's going to be some counterexamples in here. In here, we have enough people that you could be like, oh, no, I'm actually in that 5 to 10% group. I'm doing it. And for whatever reason, the way the things compute in your brain, it's slightly different and great. But understand, when I'm speaking in a general sense, I have to more so speak and cater to the majority, and the majority of people who are just following what everyone else is doing, they lose money. So why would you do that? It just simply does not make sense. It really, really doesn't. Don't get into the market if you're emotionally weak. The market has a unique way of really amplifying certain aspects of your personality. And it's going to teach you a lot of things that you probably didn't know about yourself. And some of them might be good to learn, and other aspects of it might not be the most enjoyable to learn. Basic logic says to just buy and hold your trades. If you're an investor, which, yeah, you can make money investing, but you can make a lot more money. The ceiling, okay, if you invest, the odds are better, but you'll make less money. So when I say the odds are better, the odds of being successful are better as an investor. If you're a very good active trader, your ceiling is much higher, but it's much more difficult to pull off. More people fail. I mean, talking about investing, I could give you guys a full proof. Like historically, this has worked. You buy the market and you forget about it. That's it. If you have the capability of logging into your brokerage, buying the S&P 500 and coming back 3 decades later, there's a high chance you're going to make a lot of money. Now, obviously, the odds of your success, as in being profitable, go up, but your ceiling is much lower. If you're a great active trader, which is very, very, very difficult to pull off, your ceiling of potential profits is considerably higher. So you can't conflate trading and investing. They're two very distinct things. And I think there is a aspect, there's room for both in your life. For example, my long-term account are my retirement accounts. That's where I just invest. I buy the things I like, I put money into it, and I plan on coming back way, way later. But then here, when we're talking with all of you, like that's my active trading. That's the things where I'm like, oh, I think this is going to happen today. I think this is going to happen next week. That's my active stuff. And even though they both happen in the stock market, they're two distinct things. And I truly, truly do not believe that they should be conflated, like whatsoever. It is your odds of success go up dramatically if you're a stock market investor. That's every piece of retail data and Wall Street data suggests that. It's just you're putting a cap on your ceiling. Now, if you higher risk, higher reward. If you're an active trader, it's much higher risk, but if you pull it off, it's higher reward. And that's just what you're going to find in a lot of aspects of life. If you take more risk, your potential for reward is higher, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the reward. Matt said you have to be intellectually tall enough to get on this ride. You know what's kind of funny is I don't think intellect is necessarily the defining trait of successful traders. Like if I could mold a perfect trader, like if you gave me some sort of human goo and I just like got to mold my own trader, intellect isn't the thing I would necessarily be like, oh, I'm going to spend all of my human goo capital on that. I would max out discipline. If you have a person who's just say of average intellect, of course there's like a minimum barrier you have to get above to be able to be in the market. Like there's a certain level of mathematical understanding, statistical understanding, reading reports, this, that, like, yeah, but there's no correlation with the highest IQ people over 200 being the best in Wall Street. There is a certain, like, there's a minimum barrier, but once you're above that minimum barrier, which I would say is probably average IQ, average intellect, I think the defining characteristic is actually discipline. You could take someone who's of average intellect, and if you get them to understand a system, which they should be able to because they're of average intellect, and they can trade that system very disciplined, monk-like discipline, day in and day out, I think that that person would outperform a person who has double the intellect, a bona fide Mensa genius, but is undisciplined. So yes, there's a minimum intellect required, but past that, I think success is more so defined by discipline than any other characteristic. Can I define discipline? Yeah, that's a good question. I think in the most rudimentary way, when it comes to the market, discipline is a measure of how well you can follow your own system. And if then you might say, well, I don't have a system. Okay. Well, now you're way far behind where you should be. If you're an active trader, you need a system. You need a clear set of criteria of when you get in and a clear set of criteria when you get out. You don't want to be hemming or hawing or this gray area. No, you want measurable metrics that say, I get in here, and you want measurable metrics where you say, I get out here. That would be a system. You get in when condition ABC is satisfied, and you get out when condition XYZ is satisfied. It could be as simple as I buy Monday market or Monday morning market open, and I get out Wednesday market close. Clear set of entry criteria, clear set of exit criteria. I'm not saying that's a good strategy. I'm just giving an example of how like basic it could be. So you have to have a system, and then a discipline would be sticking to said system. Define human goo. That's a tough one. That's something that you just have to kind of live through it, experience it more than anything else. If you can't program it, don't trade it. I think that's a good mindset. If it can't theoretically be executed by a computer, like if you're like, oh no, like I need a little bit of a gut feel here, it might work for you every once in a while, but I think in the long term, you're gonna have a couple problems. What do we have here? Oops. I hate when women ask me my honest opinion.
Would you punch me in the face for $1 billion?
I'll punch you in the face for $40. $1 billion? $1 billion. You'd have trouble getting me off of you for $1 billion. I would hit you with a snow shovel in front of your mom. For $1 billion? $1 billion. I don't even care if I have to pay taxes on it.
Wow.
Back over you with my car. $1 billion.
Would you punch me in the...
I'll back over you with my car. It's almost financially irresponsible to not hit someone for $1 billion. $1 billion. Not only did she say she will take guilt-free pass, but she also named the people she cheated on him with. Poor guy.
How old are you?
26.
22. How long you been together?
2 years.
If she gave you a guilt-free pass to sleep with anybody, would you take it?
No, sir. You might get one pass, but at the end of the day, you want one wife. And this is the wife I want. So no.
Okay. Now what about you if he gave you one?
If you gave me a guilt-free pass, I would take it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Sorry.
That's crazy.
Who would you take it with?
Lindy Waters III?
Don't even know who that is. That's our problem. Yep.
Who else?
Barry Sanders. I'm in love with him.
Now what do you think those men have over your men?
They're professional athletes.
That's crazy.
Dude.
Hey.
This guy's heart is
One is
breaking.
Native American and one's black.
But do you think that any of those guys would go for you?
Junior would.
That's crazy.
Dude, this guy's heart is
at the end of
shattered.
the day, it's whatever. At the end of the day, I don't care.
You should care. And you should find someone better.
Like, why, though?
You're not based. Over.
Wait, what? I need a pog daddy. How Gen Z breaks up with someone.
It's over.
It's fine. Like, why, though?
You're not based.
Filled.
You're cringe-pilled. Your vibe is just toxic.
What?
You're a beta simp in a Giga Chad body.
What?
You don't appreciate my crackhead energy. I just can't do it. I need a pog daddy. It's the power simp cuck energy for me. I need a himbo pog daddy.
What is a pog daddy?
Order submitted.
Epic. It's an epic sex god. Apparently. Not just a normal sex god, but a epic one. One of epic proportions. Language warning. Trigger warning for any of you guys who don't like French.
Hey, this is to all you window-licking fucking moron liberals. You don't know shit about the trucking industry. I'm an independent truck driver. There are 350,000 drivers like myself that if we don't want to go somewhere, we don't go there. We don't have any bosses, no unions. You can't fuck with our license like you guys keep saying you want to do. Nothing. It's not illegal to say, fuck you,
Order filled.
eat a dick, you fucking idiots. We don't want to go to New York. We won't go to New York. Ask Colorado, you fucking morons. Colorado fucked around and found out real fucking quick the truck drivers actually run this country. Fuck you.
So aggressive. I'm on that guy's side.
Gen Z, my generation, I think is honestly the worst generation. I just
Don't
got
listen
off
yet.
work, I'm in my car and I'm scrolling.
Gen Z is the worst generation. Let's find out.
Gen Z, my generation, I think is honestly the worst generation. I just got off work, I'm in my car and I'm scrolling, and I see yet again another girl in my generation crying about how she doesn't want to work. Now, don't get me wrong, I know inflation is crazy, and I know that jobs aren't paying you as much as they should to keep up with inflation. However, everyone needs to work an 8-hour day, 5 days a week. That's literally life, okay? I think the problem with my generation stems from everyone started working a lot later than other generations previously. I started working when I was 14, but a lot of people my age didn't start working until they finished college.
That's
honestly.
crazy.
And I think that's a big problem.
Dude, I was
So
working at
I
10.
think part of it is like they're not used to working, but everyone works 8-hour days, 5 days a week, full time. That's how it is. And life isn't fair.
Pretty base take.
So if you're my generation watching this, just get a job.
Just get a job. Yeah, dude. When your parents own your own business, my parents own a business, you work. There's no child labor laws when it's a family business. Dude, you hit 10, you're working. Is how it goes.
How much money are in your bank accounts?
$10K. Negative $6.26. About $200.
How much money?
How much money are in your bank accounts?
$10K. Negative $6.26. About $200 right now.
You guys have jobs?
No. I work at Bink.
If you have a job, why are you in the negative?
Because I just got paid my credit card bill and then spent $70 last night.
Do you have a job?
I'm a regular donor at BioLife.
And how much do you make?
Depends on my week of donations. Usually around like $100 a week.
I have a job in the summer. I'm not a deadbeat.
Not a deadbeat.
Gen Z doesn't want to work anymore. That doesn't mean they're not working. They are working. They're working 40 hours a week, and they still can't afford to live on their own.
That's true.
Gen Z doesn't want to work anymore. That doesn't mean they're not working. They are working. They're working 40 hours a week, and they still can't afford to live on their own. This is the difference between poverty in capitalism and poverty before. Poverty before, it was like, I'm in poverty because I'm like unable to work or I'm sickly or something. Poverty in capitalism is you are in poverty because you are working. You are in poverty while you are fully working. They can't afford food and rent and healthcare. These aren't luxuries, these are basic necessities. And hell, who wants to work all the time to not be able to afford things? To barely be able to afford to live? Why do y'all hate workers so much? You are one. I hate to be the one to tell you, but you're not going to get rich. Only one in every 1,000 of you is going to get rich. Maybe less. You're not going to Bezos
I could be one
out,
in
I'm
1,000.
sorry. And so all the work you're doing, you're riding for your boss. You're riding for the rich person you're never going to be. And you're stopping workers like yourself from getting a better cut.
He just doesn't have a growth mindset. That's his problem. That's his problem. He needs that growth mindset. Rum picking up. Tesla not doing really anything. SPY and Q's flat, literally pretty much at their opening value. Folks, that's kind of it. Not much is going on. I do want to remind you guys all of a couple things. Couple things. Listen up before I let you go. 1 p.m. today, we get the results of the 20-year bond auction. 2 p.m., this is all in East Coast time, we will be getting the FOMC meeting minutes from the last FOMC meeting. right after market
Order
close,
filled.
we will be getting NVIDIA's earnings report. And then obviously a little later on this evening, we will be getting NVIDIA's earnings call, their conference call. Those are the major things to pay attention to today. Beyond that, if you want to do the Apex trading, as you guys hear, order filled, just so you know, today's the last day of one-day approval, pinned to the top of chat. And then also, don't forget to sign up for the Goonie Discord. It is free. Your first month is free. You might as well sign up for it and see if you like it, because after a month, you can quit. If you don't, I think you will. But beyond that, the prices are going up on March 1st, just so everyone knows. So if you want to get grandfathered into a cheaper price, use the second link in the description of the video, and on Rumble, it is pinned over there. That's what I have for you. Love you all. Peace out. Bye. Make money.